special shout out to all of you out there. Happy holidays from USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network where we celebrate elevated listening. Our show today is at a special time, so thank you for tuning in or for watching. Our show is Secrets to Timeless Beauty, and our topic today is what I learned about life and myself in Egypt, starring the star of our show, Katrina Valente. Let's welcome her to the program. Hello.
Hi, how are we today?
I'm fantastic. It's so nice to see you, especially at a different time on a weekend. And I really appreciate your flexibility. You're about to travel, which is always exciting. And we're going to be sharing some of the photographs from a fabulous trip that you just took. But before we do that, for people tuning in for the first time, tell us about the work that you do and how you help other people.
So, hi everyone. I am a holistic anti-aging expert and a coach. So I work with people in relationship issues. I do hands-on therapy, facials, different kinds of massage that actually realign the electromagnetic field of the body, as well as lymphatic drainage. And I also do tarot reading and energy clearing.
Okay, so do tell, what is tarot reading and energy clearing?
So, I mean, the tarot is the tarot cards, but I do it in a way where you ask me a question and then we have a look at the cards, and it kind of gives insight to what's going on in your life. It gives solutions to moving forward. And usually at the end of a session, people have a lot more clarity. And then with the energy clearing, I'm working on 40 different charts. It's very esoteric. It's working with a pendulum. And it's all about setting the intention and clearing blocks in your life to do with relationship, career, money, or health.
Thank you for sharing that. And a question that comes to mind is, do you ever have a new client meet with you and say, I'm really hoping this or that will happen. Can you tell me? Or is it usually, tell me what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to know usually about love, actually. I mean, I'd say 90% of people that have a tarot done, it's about their love relationships. So, I don't like giving timelines in the tarot because spirit is not very good on the timelines of Earth. But I definitely help them get clarity with their lives.
Do you have to be in person to do either of these tarot readings or energy clearing?
No, Dr. Jacalyn, that can be done online. It can be done over Zoom. I actually don't even have to see the person. It's all about intention, and you set your intention and you do the cards. So I do it 3 different ways. I either do it on Zoom, in person, or just you send me the questions and then I do the reading and then I give you the answers at the end.
And does the client actually have to set their intention as well, that they're really present and open?
No,
No. I love
doesn't
it.
really matter. Yeah.
So it really can apply to everyone. Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you again for sharing that. And you're off to another journey. Tell us about this one.
So this is it's turning into an annual trip to Amila Fushi in the Maldives, where I go in as a visiting practitioner in the spa, and I offer all my menu of services to the guests, and I'm there for 1 month.
What a fabulous way as a guest to spend your time getting to have all these wonderful treatments and services with you. Now, while you're doing this, we're talking about secrets to timeless beauty. What are some of the things that you do? Because you're actually there working, you'll be alone. What are some of the things you do for your own self-care?
What do I do for my own self-care? Well, I try and walk along the beach most days. I get grounded, you get the fresh air. It's a meditation in itself. I always go to the gym every day. They've got a very decent gym, considering it's a desert island. So I'm always in the gym every day. And then, you know, I continue with my facials and diary and, you know, just relax in the evening.
Sounds divine. And I love your necklace, by the way, another butterfly, which is part of
Thank
who you
you.
are. That's why we have butterflies here. So let's talk about this fabulous trip that you took to Egypt. We actually have some photographs that we're going to bring up, but if you would give us the backstory about when you went, if you're with friends, you went by yourself, and any reason why you actually selected this destination.
Well, I actually went to Egypt 12 years ago with a group of people that one of my friends, Sandra Gonzalez, who is a shaman, she does trips all over the world and they're of a spiritual nature. So it's an itinerary on a daily basis. It's pretty action packed and we're visiting all the major sites. And so I went 12 years ago. It was amazing. And she was doing another trip. And this year is all about the Isis energy and the divine feminine. So I was just really drawn to go back, which is something I wouldn't really do. I think there's too many places in the world to keep going back to the same place. And it's the first actual holiday that I've had in about 6 years. I think because I travel so much, I don't feel I need a holiday. But this was pretty full on. I mean, we were getting up at 6 in the morning and visiting all these different temples, and we do meditations in most of them. So it's a group. And there's always major healing that happens when you go on a trip like that. And I really do feel that I came back transformed and upgraded.
I love to hear that. And you certainly are glowing. You look very well rested.
Thank you. Well, just about well rested, but I mean, we were on the Nile cruise actually for 4 days, and that was amazing. We had a private boat just for the group, and that was really special.
When you're on a trip like this with a number of people, is it difficult to actually find peace of mind because there's so many people there and people talking and people wanting attention, or is it you're able to?
No, you know, it's funny because Sandra has been a shaman for over 30 years, and when she brings groups together, we all gel like we've known each other forever. And the group was just amazing, and everybody got on, everything flowed. And I mean, there were people from Hong Kong, England, um, Kazakhstan, Dubai. I mean, it was a real mixture of people, and we all got on amazingly. So it's a very special thing to do.
I love to hear that. That's wonderful. And what do you think changed, or what did you observe that changed from your first visit 12 years ago?
Uh, ooh, well, I'm 12 years older to begin with, 12 years wiser. I mean, we actually went to the most of the same places. There was a few added extras, but the place that I got the big healing 12 years ago was Abydos. And Abydos is one of the oldest temples in the world, and it's very sacred. And when I went back there, I realized that I was fully healed from 12 years ago. I let go of some past lives. I can't even remember what it was now. But the big healing I got this time was in Dandara Temple, which is the temple of love. And my intention was to go there and break all my barriers to love. And I got an amazing healing in that temple.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that feels like to have that healing?
You know, when when we were going there, I mean, obviously I'm a healer. I'm very in tune with energy and the things that are around me. In the bus going there, I was very happy. I felt very light. I was very elated. I was very excited, unusually so, for no apparent reason. And then when I got there, I really felt not only had I been there before, but I'd lived there before in a past life. Because when you do trips like that, it's always past life related. I mean, all of us had been there in a past life. It's just the way it works. And then we were walking around the temple, and there was these ladders. I think I've got pictures of it on Facebook. And there was a little hole way up at the top of the wall. And so there was 8 of us could only fit into it. And so we just climbed up the ladders. I wanted to see what was up. And it was just this tiny little chamber. And the energy in that chamber was just, well, it was indescribable, really. I can't really iterate what it was like, but we all took our shoes off, and Sandra was there, and the 2 other ladies that were heading the group. And one of them was a British astrologer, Helen, and the other one is a friend of mine, Christina. And so we were all there. There was 2 guys only, and 6, 7 girls. There was 9 of us. And she just started to channel information. And I mean, I just felt ice cold from the feet right through my body. I mean, the energies were just running through me. You know, you feel tingling, you feel cold, you feel like you've went back in time. I mean, it's, you know, it's an undescribable experience. And then Sandra came to me and she said to me, you know, this is your time, you've done it, you've come here, we honor you, we thank you. And, you know, through the channeling, she had said that, you know, they want to thank us, they've been waiting on us for a long time, because we are all advanced healers. So when you do a trip like that, you are upgrading your energy. And in that chamber, we apparently all got the initiation of High Priestess energy. And I certainly did feel that. So, you know, some people will be thinking, what is she talking about? I tell it like it is, you know. So when I came home, I was very happy. I was very much high vibration, and I still feel like that. And I've had lots of male attention from nowhere. So there has definitely been a shift within me in that aspect.
That sounds profound and fascinating. And to your point, there may be people out there who are not on the same path, but that's okay, because there'll be plenty of people who are and understand exactly what you're speaking about.
Mm. Yeah, it was very special. I mean, there was a few things that happened on that trip for me. There was another very special temple in Luxor, and when you enter it, it's in the shape of your body. So when you enter it, it's your feet. So Helen, who's very much into ancient Egypt and has lots of information on it, she's the astrologer. She walked us through the temple on each part of our bodies, and we felt it. We felt each part of our bodies moving, you know, within us. And then we got to the top, and it was the eyes, the ears, and the head was in the middle. And that was the divine. And I went in there, and I just went into the corner of the chamber to the left, and I just, you know, put my head on the wall, and then I just got this pouring of gold abundance into my hands. It was really profound. So it's experiences like that you get on a trip like this. And, you know, there was a lot of people that were very unwell, because it's the healing that's occurring within their bodies. When you go to certain places, that activates you from a past life. So you're purging out the old to balance the karma in this life. So towards the end of the trip, I mean, even Helen, there was 2 days where she couldn't join us because she was very unwell. And quite a few of the group as well had sickness for 2 or 3 days.
And are you saying, just so I understand, that that's a result of going through this healing process, that you get sick and then get well?
Yeah, because you're purging out what you no longer need.
Mm.
And it's like, it's deep within the memory cells of your body.
And based on what you've experienced, is this the type of trip that a person could go on by themselves, or do you really need to be with someone who's well versed in the tour, for example, and then what you're going to experience as you go through it?
Yeah, I mean, of course you can go on your own, but you'll never get the same experience because the group are all interlinked energetically in some way or another. So we're all supporting each other energetically. And, you know, the group healings that you get from that are just insurmountable. I mean, the more, you know, there was 19 of us. Even the guides were like one of us. It's incredible how these things come together, but you have to do it with a spiritual teacher, you know, that knows what they're doing. And Sandra's been to Egypt many times.
Sounds like an incredible opportunity to experience amazing healing and cleansing. So we have some photographs, and I was going through them, and what I've decided is I'm not going to show the pictures that have other people in them, only because I don't know that we have their permission to do so. But we will show the photographs with you in it, and then I'll just stop sharing the screen as I forward to the next one, if that sounds okay to you.
Sure.
Okay. All right, let's take a look. What is this that we're seeing right now?
So this is the pyramids. And surprisingly enough, the pyramids are in the center of the city. They're not somewhere in, you know, the desert far, far away. They're literally right in the center of the city, which is, you know, most people don't expect that.
And what are the things in front of the pyramids? The circle and then it looks like an arch.
Oh, I don't know. There's maybe just some stop-offs. I mean, there's camel rides and everything. It's very commercial, but we actually paid the government for the Sphinx and the pyramids and Osiris and Abydos to go into the private areas and to meditate. So you have to pay for that privilege. And we were inside the pyramid in the king's chamber and the queen's chamber, which is very, very claustrophobic. I mean, the energy is so dense in there because there's no fresh air. And I think I've posted pictures where you're going up, up, and it's not like steps. It's like a board, a wooden board with ridges on it. So you have to climb up, and it's a very small area. And at some point you have to bend over and, you know, come up this way. So it's for people that are claustrophobic, there's no chance that they can do it. But that was, we meditated for an hour inside the king's chamber. And then at the bottom of the Sphinx, I mean, the Sphinx has got such powerful energy.
Amazing. Let's move forward. I think this is a view.
Yeah, so
Yes.
so this is the pyramids. Look at the size of the bricks.
Amazing.
There's no way that any humans could have built that pyramid. It's impossible. They are solid stone, you know, and they're just one on top of the other of the other. I mean, you can see how tall I am, and I'm standing right next to one. So, you know.
Now, do you have to climb up these?
There's the stairs in between that you can climb up into the main. There's a hole where you go into the main area. But you have to pay. Tourists can't do it. You have to pay the government. It has to be all fixed beforehand in order for you to be allowed to do that.
All right. I stopped sharing the screen only because I'm not sure who's in the next picture. So let me take a look and see. I want to make sure that, yeah, there are people.
I'm sure it's okay, Dr. Jacalyn. I mean, all my friends, I mean, we've been sharing pictures with everyone. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Okay, let me share the screen again. All right, tell us about this.
So that was up in a restaurant that overlooked the pyramids, and we had a fantastic view. For something so commercial, the food was actually very, very good. And you got a bird's eye view of the pyramids from there. And it was actually very windy and quite chilly that afternoon.
Now, what do we see behind you there?
That's the
blankets?
pyramids.
No, on the ground there.
Oh, yeah, because that was the area where people could sit down like a little majlis, sit on the floor and just sit and look at the pyramids from there.
Okay, wow. It's amazing. I think we have a video next.
Yeah, that's showing you.
Oh yeah, there's the city.
And this is the restaurant. Yeah.
How is the food there?
Excellent. It was really excellent. And this is all the group taking our pictures.
Nice looking group. Look at you. Wow.
Now this is the Sphinx. So at the back here, we've got the Sphinx. So this was a private area that you have to pay $2,000 for the privilege of going to.
Wow. And would you say it's worth it?
Totally. I mean, we meditated. It was the day before the full moon. So the moon was shining down on us and we were all sitting under the Sphinx. It's amazing.
And this walkway that you're standing on, is that relatively new?
Yeah, this was all bordered to make it easier to get to the Sphinx. I mean, it was just a few feet away from there.
Incredible.
And there she is. I mean, they say that there's still hidden treasure in the head of the Sphinx that has not been found yet.
And you're saying that the area inside is very small.
Pyramids. The area is very small. With the Sphinx, you can walk all the way around it. And then there's kind of an altar at the front here. And we all sat in there and did a meditation. We actually meditated for the planet and what we wish to bring to the planet for peace and harmony.
A question I have for you about meditation. I'm a certified meditation instructor, but there are plenty of people who do not think they can meditate because they can't stop their mind. And you just mentioned about meditating for an hour. How important is meditation when we think about timeless beauty and the importance of self-care?
You know, it's very important. People get caught up with the fact that you have to empty your mind. You cannot empty your mind unless you're a yogi living in the mountains, living off fresh air. All meditation means is that you come into the present moment. You're here, you're now, you're in your body, you're listening to every word I say, and you're not thinking about anything else. That's all meditation is. But when we calm our mind, when we come back to the present moment and we ask for answers and you listen, that's when you get them.
So what are some steps that people can take to meditate, and what does meditation actually look like? Because as we know, you can do a walking meditation. There's all different kinds of meditation, and I think people just put this fear in themselves or think, oh, that's really crazy, that's woohoo. But it's something that anyone and everyone can do at any time.
Yeah, I mean, even for 5 minutes, it's just literally coming back to the present moment. That's all it is. Sit in your body. If you're having your tea, sip it, feel the cup, feel the warmth going down the back of your throat. What does it taste like? It's just about coming back to the present moment and not letting outside forces come to you. I mean, it's practice, but the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. There's no right or wrong. People get caught up with, oh, I have to sit like this for, half an hour and empty my mind. It's impossible. You cannot. What helps is guided meditation. If you listen to a recording, someone else's voice, talking you through steps, that's quite useful. Or the binaural beat on YouTube have different music according to the hertz, which actually works on the subconscious mind to realign you. And there's ones for everything: anger, stress, abundance, meeting your soulmate. There's so many, thousands and thousands. So if you find it difficult, that's probably a good place to start.
Also, I think if you find it difficult, you probably really need to do it because you are thinking about the future or you're living in the past, whatever the case may be. And this happens a lot when we try to go to sleep, where we think we're free of the baggage. And then as soon as we lie down, all of a sudden everything starts to come being thrown at us. And I think that's also a great time. If counting sheep isn't working, maybe you could try meditating.
Yeah, I mean, you should. It really it can change your life dramatically. If you do it regularly, you have to get into a habit. Morning time is best because then it sets you up for the day.
I love that. I want to go back to some of the photographs and also have you share when we're looking at them, if you can remember, what were you feeling at the time? So let me go ahead and share the screen again. Okay, tell us what we're looking at. This one looks very close, small.
Oh, so this is inside the pyramids. So this was on our way out. And if you can see how steep it is and how, I mean, it's all artificially lit. So, even, I mean, the stones are so gigantic. It's something that few people get to see, and again, we have to pay $2,000 for the privilege of going inside the pyramid, like as a group. So, there was 19 of us, so it's not that expensive, but the government want $2,000 for a group to go in.
How long are you allowed to stay in there?
An hour.
1 hour. Interesting. And do they throw you out? I mean, is there?
Well, there's a guide with us. So the security come. I mean, actually, in the chamber, if you move forward, Dr. Jacalyn, I've got a picture of me. And yeah, that's one of the chambers. No. This is another temple. Keep going.
That's a nice picture.
So we did the camel ride. I was a little bit scared on the camel. They're very high up.
So they come all the way down and then you climb on top of them.
Yeah, they come to kneeling.
Can you sense that the camel knows if you're scared or not?
Yeah, I mean, the camels, they can be quite nasty. They spit and they can bite. So some of them had muzzles on their faces, and then they hook them. If you see at the back there's a rope hooking the next camel to the back of my camel. So they come right next to you. And it's a bit unnerving because they've got big jaws, they could really hurt you if they wanted to.
So I don't see a muzzle on either one or any of them, actually.
No, there is. I mean, there was, I think there was about 8 of us, and some of them did have muzzles on them.
I give you credit. I would not be able to do that. I will pass on this.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know. I took horseback riding lessons. I went twice and then I stopped because I knew the horse knew how afraid I was. And
they do sense it. I mean, they really do sense it. And, it's a bumpy ride. I mean, when they're coming up and down the hills, they tell you to lean back because obviously it's going like this. So yeah.
You were getting a core workout while you were riding then.
But the route they take, you're walking right in front of the pyramid. So it's beautiful. I mean, and it's sunset. They do it at sunset. So it's very special, but I couldn't really enjoy it so much, no.
So would you, when you go back, if you go back, would you do that again?
No, not the camel ride. I mean, I've lived here in Dubai 24 years and I've only done it once here as well.
How would you describe the climate there in terms of for your skin, for aging? Is it?
Oh, it's super dry climate. It was actually cold in the mornings and the evenings and warm in the day. But for some reason, it's just the air is very dry and all the girls were complaining of dry skin. I actually did a few facials on them when we got back to Dubai.
So if someone's in this environment on a regular basis, they're going to need extra care for their skin, right?
Yeah, drink lots of water, super hydration, rich creams with oil in them. I mean, yeah, it was really noticeable.
Did you experience any wind?
Yeah, it was windy. It was windy mornings and evenings.
That
Yeah.
dry, hot wind?
Yeah, not even hot. I mean, in the mornings and the evenings, it was actually quite chilly. I mean, we were wearing winter clothing.
Hmm. We've got some more photographs. Let me share this screen again. Okay. Wow, look at this.
Yeah, so this is inside the king's chamber. Now, can you not even look at how scared I was? I was not comfortable. Can you see the energy just by looking at the picture?
I don't know. I feel it actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's really dark. It's all artificially lit. And then what they did, we meditated. Well, we were all sounding. We were all doing our own toning for an hour, and it echoed immensely. And they switched off the lights, and it was absolutely pitch black.
Oh.
Like whether you opened your eyes or closed them, there was no difference. I've never experienced that before.
Was that frightening?
Uh, it took me about half an hour to settle into it because it's also hot. So it's clammy, it's dense energy, it's not comfortable.
Now, is that a tomb there?
No, they say that the pyramids were used to make contact with extraterrestrials. It's not about a tomb, although it looks like a tomb, but it's not. And this is the place that we actually went to 12 years ago as well. We were in that very chamber. But since then, they've opened the Queen's Chamber, which is below the King's Chamber, and it's smaller. But they were doing work in there, so it wasn't very accessible.
But so allegedly, this is where the king spent time?
Yeah.
And the lighting you mentioned is all artificial. So
yeah, they were strobe lighting on the floor. You can see the light behind. This was all strobe lighting.
And how high up was the ceiling?
It's quite high. It's considerably high. So it wasn't like it was so low that was also a problem. So yeah, it was high, and it was it was a bigger room, this one.
That's cute.
So that's just a fun picture. all the locals were coming and telling us to do this, and then they would ask for money.
Ah. Now what do we see behind us, that entrance?
It was just nothing. I don't know what that was.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the Sphinx. So this is our group, and we're standing in front of it, and the big paws are coming out. This is
How long
Christina.
did it take for you to get that together?
Sorry?
How long did it take for both of you to get that exactly right?
Oh, 2 seconds.
Oh, really?
Because the guy's looking at the cameras going, yeah, just move along, like up a bit, down a bit, and then we just took the picture.
That's great.
So
and that's what we just looked at.
Yeah. So this is it from another angle. So from where I was standing, that's looking out the way. So you can see it's quite high, the ceilings.
And there's no place for people to sit, right? You're in and out. You're in for an hour, and that's...
No. We had to sit on the floor and to crouch down. You have to crouch. There, you see? This is it.
Wow.
This is the entrance in, so you have to crouch down. Yeah.
Now, what does that feel like? I mean, is that...
It's claustrophobic. I mean, there's no two ways about it. It's not comfortable.
And there's no new air coming in, right?
No. There's a hole on one side and then opposite side, and that's the air filtration. They explain that to you. But it's not fresh air, and there's no light, obviously.
What about
natural light?
Any little or large creatures living in there?
No. Nothing gets in, really. No.
So, what would you say were your key takeaways from that experience, the crouching down and realizing, I
You
don't know.
know, before I went, as I've gotten older, I've gotten a bit claustrophobic. Not greatly, but more than I was. I was never claustrophobic, but now I do get a little bit claustrophobic. So I was wondering if I could do it because I remembered that you had to crouch down. But actually, when I went in, I was okay. It was okay. But you know, for bigger people or overweight people, it's difficult. It's very
Now,
difficult.
will they permit more than your group in at the same hour, or each group gets their own
No,
hour?
it's you have a time slot. There's only one group allowed in at the time. It's not big enough for anything else. You can only have one group at a time
And was
because there's
everyone in
not
your
enough air. You know, you
mm,
wouldn't, I mean, the air that you're using would, I'm sure some people could easily have a panic attack.
that's what I was gonna ask you. Did anyone in your group start to lose it or
No.
feel uncomfortable? No.
No, but the Christina who went 12 years ago with me, she couldn't go in back then. It was just too claustrophobic. She did not even go inside the pyramid. This time she went all the way. So that shows that she's really healed herself
Absolutely.
from whatever, you know. So that was amazing.
Katrina, would you say that you're given that hour? Does it take an hour to actually get through there, or can you spend some time
No,
looking
I
at it?
mean it takes several it takes a few minutes to climb up. I mean, it's steep and it's longer than you would think because you end up right in the center of the pyramid, like dead center of the pyramid. So it's quite a way up. But no, we were inside that chamber for a full hour. Yeah, it was an hour because we timed it.
Did you see any other walkways or stairs that led to places that you weren't allowed to go?
No,
No.
no, there's only that one entrance for the pyramid. It's interesting, really. But you know that they've been built in total alignment with the stars and everything. I mean, the margins are precision. Like, you know, the way they've been built, each one is a different height and it measures. I mean, all the stats are just incredible. There is no human being that could have built these pyramids. I'm absolutely sure about that. Honestly, it's just, yeah.
Wow, what a powerful trip and experience that you had.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a trip of a lifetime, really.
I want to take a little time to go through your website as well, because that's not something that we've done in a while. And I want people to be able to see all the fabulous services that you offer. And here we are. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right. Holistic transformation and wellness expert, inner peace, outer beauty. You know, that is something that I talk about on a regular basis is finding inner peace. And when we find inner peace, I really feel that it shows on us outwardly. What are your thoughts?
It's always been my motto: inner peace, outer beauty. You know, someone can be very physically beautiful, but if they're not at peace with themselves, they soon become very unattractive when you get to know them, their personality. I mean, I think, you know, with healers and stuff and yogis, you can really see the light in their faces. You can see the lightness shine through. So, you know, obviously I've been in aesthetics for 28 years. Aesthetics is one thing and taking care of the outer body, but the most important thing is your inner body and your emotional set point.
Katrina, I really appreciate the fact what you just shared about doing the work that you do for 28 years. And I think as we come to the end of this year and start into the new year, there are many people out there who are thinking of going out on their own, starting their own business. And you've done that journey, you're doing that journey. And can you share anything with us? And then we'll walk through the website, but can you share anything with us about what it takes in order to have a successful business and at the same time still find time for yourself?
You know, I mean, I was 28 when I started doing sugaring in my hometown. Sugaring is an Arabic way to wax the hairs from your body. And there was nobody doing it in my town. And I built a business on that one treatment. And I paid for all my private tuition and a private beauty school for the next 5 years to be fully qualified in beauty therapy and alternative therapies. So I don't know. I mean, I can't really answer that because it was a drive within me. It wasn't something I thought about much. I just went and did it. You know, ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a beauty therapist from the age of 5, 6, as far back as I can remember. So I don't know. I think you've got to do something that you love. You can't do it for the money. It's got to be your passion. And when you do something that is your passion, it's easy because you love doing it.
I totally agree with you. Let's just talk a minute about the money because as business owners, you never know exactly where the money's coming from or when it's coming. And some people are not able to handle this. Some people are just like, no, I need that steady paycheck. What have you done over the years when there were times where you weren't sure what money was going to be coming in? How did you keep yourself at peace?
You know, I've never been a planner. I I mean, I've had a lot of hard times, but something's always happened that has seen me through. And I think you just have to trust the process. I mean, having your own business, you will have the highs and the lows. It's never a steady flow. And I think you're either one personality or you're the other. And some people like the stability of being employed, and other people like the freedom of being self-employed. But the two come with their pros and cons, you know. So I've never been very good with money. Money comes, money goes. I don't know. I've always been lucky, I guess, you know.
I can relate to exactly what you're saying. I've been the same. And when we think about the pros and cons, sometimes I just am so grateful for my freedom that I can have the time to do what it is I want to do. And I don't have to fill out reports. I mean, believe me, I have paperwork. I have so much administrative work that I could have a whole team of people just doing it, but I actually enjoy doing it. And I don't have to drive to be at meetings. I don't have to have, certain things that are expected of me. The things that I expect of myself are for the business. And it's a completely different feeling. But yet the paycheck every week, that was really nice too. The fabulous benefits that you get traveling to 5-star resorts. So it is really a trade off. But I feel like for me, and I'd love to have you weigh in on this, every dime that I've made since I became a business owner, I earned it. And sometimes when we are in a corporate job or we work for someone else, we're not always doing what we're supposed to be doing 24/7 because we know the paycheck's coming. But when you have your own business, you got to be spot on all the time, unless you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to take this time off knowing that I'm going to be losing potential income, but I choose that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, freedom is of paramount importance to me. I've worked in clinics before and I never fit in because I'm not very good at being told what to do.
I'm not either. That is not something that I really relish. Let's
I mean,
go
it's
back
the
to your
truth.
website and look at the services that you provide. All right, I'm getting really good with this. Here we go. All right, so you've got courses, you've got packages. Let's just go down here and tell me where you want me to stop. So this is a great picture of you, by the way, stunning.
Thank you.
Now, where was that taken? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was taken in my friend's garden, actually. She's got the most beautiful garden. And the guy that took it is a stylist. So he did my hair, my makeup, and he took the photographs. He's amazing, a Lebanese guy.
Absolutely gorgeous. And let's look
Mhm.
at some what is written here about you. Tell us a little bit about you're one of the world's top facialists, amazing international holistic wellness anti-aging expert. Tell us about the ambassador for the organic brand and how do you say that?
Altera Bio is a brand that I've worked with for over 17 years now. The owner is actually an old client and now a friend of mine. And it's working with the 14 colors of the chakras. And they have perfumes. Each perfume matches the color, and an oil and a serum. So it works on the emotional body as well as the physical. And it has been made, each color has been made to match the same vibration as the chakra.
So is this an extension of the color readings that you do?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic. And you were so gracious enough to do that for me twice.
Oh, it's nothing. It takes a few minutes.
All right. Tell us about this quote.
So I do coaching. I mean, I'm moving much more into that these days. And it's a package of 6. And then we do coaching on whatever you need coaching on. I like to do relationship to self because I think every relationship extends from your relationship with yourself and how much you understand yourself. So the more in tune you can be with yourself, the better your relationships will be outwardly.
And you have here mirror, mirror on the wall. Some people have, well, people have different relationships with the mirror. We actually did a show on this in A Woman's Prerogative, where some people do not want to look in the mirror and some people are obsessed with looking in the mirror. What is your experience about the mirror and the reflection that we see? Should we be looking in the mirror all the time? Should we have our whole room mirrored? What do you think?
No, I mean, what I mean by the mirror is what you see in me is also within you. Otherwise, you would never recognize it. So what you like about me is within you, and what you don't like about me is also within you. Otherwise, you'd never recognize it. So it's about in relationships, we always point the finger, oh, he did that to me or she did that to me. But if you can take full responsibility for attracting your experiences, then you can deal with them a lot easier.
Thanks for sharing that. And let me go back over here to your website. It's all about the skin. You know, it's so interesting, Katrina. I've noticed as I've gotten older, my skin has changed dramatically. And in some ways, I think it has to do with medication that I've taken over the years. But what we put into our body does have an impact, and also the environment that we're in and the stress that we have and how we react to it affects the skin. So, is it really realistic that we can stave off aging so we don't have any wrinkles and we don't have any sagging skin, we don't have any cellulite, or is that just a myth?
No, I think there's a lot you can do nowadays. I mean, I just had my Botox and my hyaluronic acid injections yesterday, and that really helps with wrinkles.
I'm
But
jealous.
it is all about diet and exercise and skincare, using good products on your skin. um there's a lot you can do, but certainly through the menopause you see changes in your body. I mean, I definitely noticed a deterioration, and that's just aging. I mean, there's only so much you can do, and it's also down to genetics.
Genetics plays a big part. And I think it's interesting that no one gives you a book, at least I didn't get one, when you're younger saying, "Hey, enjoy your skin because this is what's coming for you. This is here, it's gonna be over there. This is," it's like, and all of a sudden one day you're like, "What happened?" It's
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I wish I had some more time. Or, little voice pops up and says, "Don't eat that because 20 years from now you're gonna," whatever the case is. So we try to
Yeah.
provide education here, as you know. What are some of the things that we can do before going into menopause that can have a significant impact? And that's the first question. And then my second question is, because I've really been evaluating this for several years, I was doing all the right things, gave up this and gave up that. And it turns out that my health was still impacted. And now I decided to embrace all those things that I gave up. And you know what? I'm a lot happier. I don't know if that's good or bad, but when we deprive ourselves, I feel like I was a little angry about not being able to have caffeine or sugar, or fasting for 16 hours a day. And now I feel much happier, but I'm not as lean as I used to be.
No, I mean, it's definitely your relationship to food. If you're eating something and you're saying, I shouldn't be eating this, then that's going to have a negative impact in your body. But if you say, oh, I'm enjoying this, this is delicious, this is nourishing my body, then it will. It's all subject, it's all about, intention.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's some people I follow on social media, and they've been posting lately, pictures of them in a bathing suit or whatever it is, and they gave up this, and this. And no judgment. I just looked and thought, wow, they look extremely thin. And I just wonder how happy they are. They seem to be happy. They're saying that they're happy. So I think it's all relative, but we are here in this particular life for just a certain amount of time. So I think it's a trade-off, because we have people who come on this platform and advocate for really giving up everything. And my dad used to say moderation is the key. So I think that,
Totally.
yeah.
Totally, moderation is the key. I mean, if you go into it, there's nothing that's good for you. There's pros and cons to every food substance out there. I think you've got to listen to your body. I think your blood type has a lot to do with what you can eat and what you can't eat. And I think it is moderation, absolutely. I mean, I'm an O positive blood type, and I went vegetarian for a year, and it just didn't suit me. I need meat. And I didn't want to eat animals anymore. I still don't. But that's what serves my body better.
And you're listening to your body, which I think is so important.
Mm,
I know for
definitely.
me, I've tried, and I think, many people do this, especially when it comes to a new year starting. Well, I'm going to give up this and I'm going to give up that. And then you do it and you're really miserable. Maybe you see results like when I gave up all those things I gave up, I did lose 10 pounds, and I was really happy with myself for a very short time. And then I was like, you know what? Why does it matter if I gave up the 10 pounds? I'm not entering some beauty contest. I'm not being evaluated for my weight. I want to feel good in my body. But then I also realized that you can go off the deep end and just say, well, I'm going to have, 10 cookies. No, that's not good either. So it is somewhere in between and finding that balance.
Yeah. I mean, I went to a birthday on the beach a few days ago, and we had pizza and fries, and I had a big bowl of ice cream. But I haven't eaten that kind of stuff for ages. And it didn't impact my body at all because I enjoyed it. And it's like you have to enjoy life. I mean, I watch my diet, I watch what I eat good food. I've been doing the keto diet. That worked very well for me. In Dubai, we're very privileged. We get a lot of food deliveries, and there's a company that does the keto delivery. So I've just been getting that, and it's a no-brainer. You just pay for the food, it comes and you eat it, and it's fresh and it's organic.
That is nice when you
So
don't have to actually go shopping and try to look at
no.
labels and figure things out. Yeah, I love
Mm.
that. I love that. I want to go back over to your website again, just so we can let people know the services that you offer, especially as the new year's coming. So this
So
is the
I
sugar.
mean, yeah, so I mean, obviously the hands-on treatment, you have to be in Dubai for the facials and the massages and the reflexology. But online, I can do the coaching, and I can do the tarot reading, and I can do the energy clearing.
Okay. And these are all great pictures, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, my website actually needs updated, actually, now that I'm looking at it. I also do the vision board workshops, which are very popular in the new year. And you get a group of ladies together and we all manifest what you want to attract in your life on a vision board.
That's wonderful. And I believe I saw somewhere on social media you were just leading a group event.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. You do group events. So you've got a course,
Mm,
facial
I do.
treatment, vision board, tarot, angel readings. What's a glow session?
So it's just, finding out what you want to achieve, what you're struggling with at the moment, how I can help you. I also obviously give skincare advice. So if people want to know what products to use, how to take care of their skin properly, for me, that's second nature, but you'd be amazed at the amount of women that really have no clue.
Well, I'll tell you this, I learned a lot from you about skincare, and I stopped doing a number of the things that I was doing that were not effective or, even good for me to do, and started doing some other things, especially what you shared about layering and having things on your skin as opposed to just having natural with nothing on it, thinking you're doing yourself a favor. Do you want to just remind our audience about that again?
So the more layers you have on the skin, the more it's protected. So, you need a serum, you need a moisturizer, you need a sunblock, you need an eye cream. And then you can put foundation on top of your sunblock as well. The thing is to clean it off properly. So you always double cleanse in the evening. And, people that say, oh, I don't wear makeup, it's actually not a good thing because you want as much protection on your skin in the day as possible.
You know what's interesting? One of the skincare companies, they have a toner. You and I have talked about the company before. And I have washed my face and then I use the toner. I'm like, wow, my face was still dirty. So to your point about washing it twice. And then we talked about those towelettes that I was using that I don't use anymore and why it's important to use a face cloth or a washcloth. Why is that?
These wipes are for taking off makeup. They're not for cleansing your skin, and they're very toxic. If you look at the ingredients, they've got a lot of parabens and stuff. Um, Using a face cloth is better because you're wringing it out so that it's damp, and you've got the abrasion of the face cloth, so it digs deep into the skin as opposed to just using your hands. So it really kind of wipes off all the excess. And that's why you should do it twice, because once gets off the makeup, the second time cleans the pores. And if you use a face cloth, you can get all around the hairline a lot easier as well.
Yeah, that's a place that's easy to miss. One more question I have for you that I don't think we've actually explored on another show, but I stopped using spray tan that I was using every day on my face. And I thought, I better ask, is that like, is it bad to use a spray tan on your face? You could buy them in the drugstore and
Yeah, they're very chemical, Dr. Jacalyn. It's better to use organic. You can get organic ones, which are much better. But spray, as we get older, I think it's more youthful if you have a paler skin.
good. Look what I
The
got. Yeah.
orange. Yeah, yeah, you're very pale now, and it's better. Me too. I stopped tanning my face years ago. And there's nothing worse than seeing an older woman with leathered orange skin. I mean, it's just not attractive.
And at least I'm not saying this applies to everyone, but I've seen many times where people are using the spray or they're going in for the tanning and their hands on the underside are orange or in between their fingers is orange, right? It's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, I mean, you can use gloves. They should use like rubber gloves. And then what the trick is to put it on your hands, you just peel off the glove, put some from the other glove, and then half take off the glove, and then just finish on the other hand, and then remove the gloves.
There it is. That's great information. I don't know. There's something about the sun, and obviously vitamin D. I just had blood test done. I was very low on vitamin D, so no wonder I'm in the dark all the time. But so I'm now taking vitamin D. But there's something about being out in the sun, and I think that there's some recommended amount of time that people should be out in the sun. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they say 20 minutes a day is enough with no sunblock, no hat, no sunglasses, because vitamin D has to penetrate, and it penetrates through the top of your head, and it penetrates through your eyes and through your skin. So they say don't wear any UV block for just 20 minutes in the day, and the morning sun is the best.
Well, that's where I'm going to be going right after this. So, yay, get out in the sun.
Yeah, get out in the sun. Yeah, I mean, and we do need vitamin D. Also in Dubai, there's lots of vitamin D deficiency as well.
And I've been told by several people that it seems to happen more to women. I don't know why this is.
I don't know either, actually.
But
I mean, it's
yeah, I just want to share something that I noticed myself this morning. I'm taking a number of supplements, and I just happened to look at two of them, and I saw that one had B12, like 125%, and the other one also had B12. It was apple cider vinegar, but it had B12. And I thought, I don't know if that's good that there's double the amount of B12. So I think we have to be careful about that and maybe speak to someone who's an expert in that area.
I mean, B vitamins we usually need. I mean, they do B12 shots in Dubai, so you use up the B vitamins pretty quickly. I mean, it's got to do with your nervous system, the Bs.
Interesting.
Mm.
Well, you are a breath of fresh air and so much incredible knowledge and expertise. I want people to reach out to you. What's the best way, especially while you're traveling?
Yeah, they can contact me through the website. I'm on Instagram every day, posting lots of lovely pictures, and Facebook. So you can just find me, Katrina Valente. The number 1 is on Instagram, and Facebook, it's just my name, Katrina Valente.
And again, the wonderful services that people can treat themselves to as we close out this year and start next year, what would you recommend?
It's always good to have an energy clearing to start off the new year, or have a tarot reading to set your intentions for the year.
And again, just as a reminder, anywhere you are in the world, Katrina can work with you on these things. Her website is her name, KatrinaValente.com, for all of our friends listening on the radio or in the future on a podcast platform. Thank you, my dear friend, for being here. I wish you a very safe journey. When will we see you again?
Yeah, we'll try to connect while I'm away. Why not?
Yeah, I love that when you give people an overview of where you are. That's great.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. All right. Well, then we'll see you in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
And until then, we'll see you on social media.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you as
Take
well.
care.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And please do reach out to Katrina. I say this every show. Our team is here to provide education and information. They want to hear from you. Don't think, oh, she's going to be too busy. No, she wants to hear from you. Connect with her on social media. Reach out to her for her services. As we close out today, this has been a special broadcast. We don't normally broadcast on Sundays, but I'm so glad that we did. I just have a couple of quick announcements. Tomorrow, we've got a number of wonderful shows that I'd love to have you join us. We have the spelling bee coming back again. Were you here for the spelling bee last time? It was so much fun. We have two of our team members, Caroline Heward and Janetta Barry, competing for the title of Queen Bee Speller. And here is our show graphic. So the spelling bee, we had the first event that took place, and now this is the second episode. It's taking place tomorrow, Monday, and that is at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time and 8 p.m. Central European Time. Following that show, we also have a woman's prerogative, where we have a panel of women, a show for women, by women, about women. And tomorrow we have two special guests. We have Anne Scotland, and we also have Cheryl Millen. So please do join us for that. And then following that, we have a very special show, which is our Talking Peace Around the World. This is a special live event where I will be joined by 4 internationally renowned broadcasters: Ian Pelham Turner, Daisy Gideon, Helena Shard, and Al Cini. We're going to be talking about what peace looks like, what their experience is as broadcasters, journalists, reporting about what's going on in the various countries. Ian is in London in the United Kingdom. Daisy is in Australia currently, but she has spent a lot of time in Lebanon, and she is a voice of the people in Lebanon. Helena Shard is also in London. She and Ian have been British royal commentators and British royal photographers. Also, Al Cini, who is somebody who is the voice of this channel, if you hear our introduction, he is also a renowned broadcaster. He's been on RVN television for years, and he's a broadcaster here, and he worked at NBC. So please do join us. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10 p.m. Central European Time. And finally, I want to welcome our newest team member, Leanne Milton Latica. She is from the British School of Excellence, and she joined our team of elevated listeners. Thank you so much for taking the journey with us. And I finally want to just share that our books, the latest books for children, I've co-authored them with Mariska Duprier in New Zealand. They became Amazon #1 new releases this last week. So The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor, is currently available in ebook and paperback. And Lady Ella's ABCs of Listening is available as a pre-order. You can go over to Amazon. Both of these books are in the series of The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. There will be 7 books in total. These books are for children and adults. The animals that you see on these covers represent real people who have taken the power of listening that I teach, and they become certified as elevated listeners. So for example, on the left, you see Belle the cow. That cow is represented by Debbie Wilson, who's my sister. You see the white owl in the tree. That owl's name is Tara and is represented by Caroline Heward. So each of these animals, I could go around, there are people who became certified. They care about how to listen at an elevated level, and they're helping us teach people around the world about listening skills. If you'd like to join us in our mission for everyone to find inner peace through elevated listening, it's so easy to do. All you have to do is take the course, The Power of Listening. It's online. It's 2 hours. At the end of the course, after watching role plays, you will get a 7-question quiz. When you get 100% on the quiz, you will be certified as an elevated listener, and you will join our team here at USA Global TV and Radio, and you will have your own opportunity to be featured in our newsletter called The Listening Post. You will also have opportunities like being featured in our children's books, and you also can be on our television show that is just for elevated listeners. It's called The Listening Post. The course was $257. It's now $39. So for $39, you can join our community and get to promote your work, and also get to celebrate the power of listening. Thank you for listening to me. I do appreciate you. We're going to sign off for now, and we will be back tomorrow with the shows that I mentioned. Take care, happy holidays, and God bless you.